Hi there, welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine, and I'm going to do a little work on my latest junk journal that I'm working on here. So I thought I'd turn the camera on. Let me show you what I've got done. I'm working here on Lippincot's Home Manuals Clothing for Women. And I've put since we last got together, I've put the rounded spine liner in, and then I've held it in place with just a little layer of cheesecloth just to protect the fabric on the shoulders here. It certainly wasn't see-through. I've seen worse, but it's 98 years old. So right now the book is open and being gutted, so why not take the time and just give it a little bit of extra fortitude. So I did that, and actually while I've got this spread open, I've picked the end papers that I'm going to put in it. I rated my books. I have some books of reproduction patterns. They're gift wrap books, but they're beautiful. And so this was from the book from Art Nouveau Patterns. And I just love this. I think the colors are fabulous. I love those mustardy warm golds and that sort of dusty plum. And I love the hummingbirds in it. I just think that it really goes nicely with the golds on the cover, and even that dark black. You can see the wingtips on the hummingbirds and the head and tail. It just all, I don't know. I'm really, really pleased. And then here, let's try and put this together so that it looks nice, so we can start using our imagination to see what this sweet little book, well, it's not so little, but that's what this book is going to look like. So here's the signatures. Try and ignore my little notes here. I'll move this one for now. So, and then if that comes up like that, here, I'll move it there. That's going to look nice. I've put this vellum, I got this out of a book. It was actually sort of a book / pamphlet for Remy Martin Cognac. And I think that looks really, really nice as an overlay. The colors just look beautiful with the end papers and with the cover. And then, of course, when you turn the page, I've been able to repurpose the first page, the original first page from the book, and then I fussy cut one of the ladies. There were a few color plates in this book, so, and she was sort of the main one, so I thought she needs to go front and center, and I think she looks really nice there. Now this was the front page. Let me find it. I saved it. I saved the cover. Hold on, here it is. It was in with a bundle of menus that I got at a thrift store one time when I was down in Niagara Falls. And this was sort of a pamphlet all about Remy Martin Cognac. And so I like the cover. I've saved this cover. And then this vellum was actually a full size, and I wanted to be able to use it here. So I sort of had to fold it off center, and I'm okay with that. I think that really looks, I think it kind of looks sharp. And again, anytime you can repurpose something, because this is a junk journal, remember. So everything was junk. So I'll still be able to make use of this little side. I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet, but that's perfectly fine to have as a second side. I think that uneven pages really add a nice variety to a journal, a junk journal, and I love when you can find something a little bigger, something a little smaller, different shape, smaller yet, and still a different direction. It's just, I don't know. I like that. I like when every page turn is sort of a little bit of a surprise. So, and speaking of that, that's what I'm going to work on right now. Hold on, let me get you out of the way, Lippincott. You're going to go up there. So I have, oh, I have to put that back on. I have a few, there. I have a few of the illustrations that are just, these two are blocks of color. I think showing complementary colors, opposite colors. It says simultaneous contrast. Then this one is just some textiles and color design, it says. And I think what I'm going to do is very, very simple with these. The paper is still really nice, and the back is blank. So that's just a beautiful journaling space that has been provided just from the text block itself. And I think what I'm going to do is simply cut a new edge, fold it, and these are going to go right into the book as is. Very simple. So I've been counting my pages here. We're at 136 right now. So I want to just give a nice fresh edge. See, I don't like that. I wondered about using this cutter or not. Look at that. I guess I need a new blade on this cutter. I don't use it very often, but I wanted the scoreboard. So now I know I'm going to cut with this one. I have blades for that one. I don't feel like finding them right now. So I am just going to give myself a fresh edge. Fortunately, we've still got space there. Oh, maybe it's the paper. Maybe it's not my blades, because I know that blade is new. That's okay. That's all right. We will work with it. All right. Boy, that one's not bad. I was able to actually get that one out without... I'm going to leave that be. I'm just going to leave that be. Now this one looks the same way. I'm going to see if I can take this off, because these were plates, and sometimes book publishers would add a plate in separately. For example, imagine this is the page. They would, and it's a spread, right? They would go in with just an individual page and just glue it down onto a page like that. And that's, in this case, that's what these color plates were. And I think I can get their little paper that they used to attach it off. And again, I don't mind if that is evident. Like, we're going to see this when the book is finished. And personally, I like looking through a book and finding those little hints that show that everything in it had a life before it was in a junk journal. It's me, and I like it. All right, so that's okay too. Very good. You know what? While I'm here, let's see if this one will come off, because it looks like... Now, I don't know yet what I'm going to do with these ladies. I'm torn. I don't know whether I want to fussy cut them or whether I want to make tags out of them. I'm thinking tags. I have quite a few interesting little things I want to put into this book. I went through some of my really old ladies type magazines, Women's Journal, and a British one that I have from the 40s. Yeah, that came out nicely. And I've found quite a few fun things that I want to put in. So some things, of course, I love to just fussy cut and apply it directly to the page. So that's why I'm thinking these I may turn into tags rather, as opposed to fussy cut and gluing them onto a page. I don't know yet, but that's what I'm leaning towards. Let's get there. There we go. So I'd been away for a few days. Our little dog was indeed sick. I mentioned that, I think, the last video I did. And she did get worse very suddenly one night. And it was after hours, after our vet closing hours, so we ended up having to pack her up into the car and take her, hold on, I'm getting a piece of paper to work on, and take her in to the 24-hour animal hospital that's a few towns over. It's not far. It sounds like a few towns over is a long way, but it was about maybe a 25-minute drive. It's not bad. But she didn't enjoy the drive, of course, because she was in pain. And any of you who have ridden in a car when you're in pain, oh, it's not fun to ride in a car when you're in pain. Okay, I'm not going to do you yet, but I will do you. So I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to fold in half and just put them in to the signatures folded in half. Now I'm just going to carefully score because I don't know whether this is going to poke right through the paper. It's 98-year-old paper. This feels strong, but sometimes even when you go to score it, even with new paper, it'll say, no, you're not scoring me. I'm going to cut. And it just does that. So I just want to see whether it looks like I'm going to have to, no, it's not bad, whether I'm going to have to reinforce that fold. So I like that. Now let's see with you. I'm just eyeballing where the center is. There we go. So yeah, we had to take her in, and because of the COVID, this clinic had things set up. We weren't allowed to go in with her. So because it's an after hours, it's 24-hour day animal hospital. They do lock the doors by 8 o'clock at night. The front doors get locked, and then you either talk on the intercom that they have at the door, or you phone them on your phone. And ideally, you phone ahead. We've used them before. I had a dog before that had what did they call it? Hemorrhagic colonitis. Anyhow, you know, it's gone out of my head. Poor little Emma. She was a sweetheart. Anyhow, so I have used this before, and so we phoned when we were on our way so that they knew we were coming. And Dot's been there before because she's had pancreatitis before. So they were wonderful, but we did have to. Normally we would go in with her, but this time what you had to do was because they have this vestibule that has lockable doors. They let us in to the vestibule. Then we had to attach Dot's leash. There's a ring on the wall, a stainless steel ring. And we had to attach her leash to the stainless steel ring and then go outside the door, and it closed. And then the vet technician that was on the other side of another door came through and got her. And that part was, oh my goodness, that was heartbreaking. So I can only imagine what it's been like for people with human loved ones having to leave them at the hospital and walk away. Because with a little dog, it was heartbreaking. She was looking at me going as if she was saying, where are you going? Don't leave me here. You know, I've already been adopted before. We adopted her from a rescue. So I always worry that she's thinking, hold on, am I being adopted again? Because I really liked the home I was in. Fortunately, these people are wonderful. Like I said, we've dealt with them before, so I had no qualms about leaving my little dog in their good hands. Um, so anyhow, so then what they do is they take her in and assess her, do her vitals, and then the vet technician phoned us. So all the while we're in the car, looking in through the window. And hold on, I want to see how many. Where did I put my? I had a list. Oh, I think I threw it out. I had a list of all the pages here. Oh yeah, they are all at 20. Okay, so I have my choice of where I want to put these. All right. So the vet technician phoned and said, you know, tell us the history, what's been going on, why is she here, that sort of thing. A little bit of Edith. It's always nice to have a little Edith. Now, I wonder if, see, that doesn't stand out there. If I put it that way. No, I don't want you there. No, you're not the signature. You're not the one, number 3. So, you know, I was able to explain, well, it's basically a repeat of what we went through before. So, fortunately, they already had her history of pancreatitis because she'd been there before. Nope. Okay, maybe this side. Oh, let's take a look at the other colors. Where did you go? Maybe I want one of these other ones instead to go with. This has got some green and orange. Yeah, and I already like that one better. So the technician took the information, what we've been doing to try and help her, and what have you. That looks nice. I don't want it quite centered. I want that down a bit. All right. So then they were very prompt. I was very impressed. I think they were able to work, believe it or not, I think they were actually work quicker with these animals when the humans aren't in there, the human owners aren't in there, because it just seemed like no time at all. And our phone rang again, and it was, oh yes, you belong here against that black. That looks very nice. So we're going to move you because that looks nice. And flowers, you can go. Here. The vet, you know, again, some similar questions to what the vet tech, and then what he assessed to, and he agreed that he believed it was her pancreas acting up again. There's a very, I appreciated the veterinarian's level-headedness. There is blood work that could be done to confirm that she was indeed having pancreatitis, but he said it's very expensive blood work, and he said it wouldn't change what he would recommend the care to be. So he said even if we knew, it wouldn't change what he was recommending as far as an antibiotic shot and a shot. There's medication you can give a dog that prevents them from vomiting. It sort of shuts off the receptors in the brain, the vomit receptors. He said he'd be recommending all that anyways, even if it wasn't pancreatitis, that perhaps it was a digestive bug or something. So, and he said that way, for the money spent on the blood work, you're better off getting her healthy and then running this blood test to confirm that this cell count has gone back down to normal. So I appreciated him suggesting that, and he said your own vet later on next week can do that blood work, and hopefully it will actually give you happy news. So that's what we opted for. So anyhow, so we've been dealing with giving her, she has to eat lots of tiny meals. They don't want the pancreas, what happens is when the pancreas is inflamed, it sends out too many enzymes, and usually that's from having to digest high fat So that's why we wonder what maybe she ate that we didn't know she ate, and it was something high fat because she's on a low fat diet. All right, hold on. I want to get to work here on something else. I want to make a tag out of this. Anyhow, so she's, instead of having like 1 or 2 big meals a day, she actually has to eat a tiny little, like a snack every 2 hours during daylight hours. It's like we've had a baby Robin in the house. Poor little thing. I'm just going to use some of this, I love the color of this paper. It's from an old record album book. So I think we're just going to use some of this and make a tag out of that one. And so she's been on, she had a 24-hour antibiotic injection, and now she's on just an antibiotic capsule, which she happily takes because I just wrap it in dog food. And that's one thing, pancreatitis often with dogs will, it takes away their appetite. Nothing wrong with my dog's appetite. She's definitely my dog. She does not miss a meal. All right, I'm going to want you, hold on, I gotta hold it up to my window. Aha, see, I would have put you in the wrong spot, you little stinker. I'm just trying to make use of my space on this my use of space on this. Sorry, I'm thinking and I can't talk while I'm thinking. Here, I'll do that and then I'll know. Then I'll know where I want to lay it because this is old paper. I think I'm going to use my aerosol glue and lay it down. So yeah, she's happily gulping down all the snacks. I think she thinks she's getting more food because she's eating every 2 hours. So when she goes back to regular meals, I can see how it's going to be a bit of a retraining session. Hold on, I'm going to pause you because I'm going to spray this with some glue. Just a second. Okay, I plopped this down before I hit that hit the start button again. So sorry if you're wondering, why is she not laying it down? I did. There we go. Now I need to figure out how wide I want this. Yeah. It's finally a little bit cooler where I am. It was frighteningly hot this week. It was the kind of hot that actually scares you. Just not, I mean, I've lived through quite a few heat spells now, long enough, 60 years in. Okay, so I do have to go in a bit further. I wondered whether I was going to have to go in a bit further. Scary, like end of the world kind of hot this week. Going outside just to, well, definitely going out a lot with the dog because she'd have to do her business. So that's better. Okay. Now I want to balance this side. I'm actually going to bring it in a bit more. And just really bizarre hot. So hot that the central air in our house was having a hard time keeping the house set at 72 degrees. And at one point, from the doors opening and closing a few times, it was cycling at about 76 degrees when we wanted to go to bed. And that certainly I don't like that. It's not normal for where I live. We get hot summers, don't get me wrong. Where I live in Canada, we get very hot, very humid summers. No, you know what? I do want the top big, but I don't want that bottom big. And I don't want to do any kind of collaging on this because I really like it the way it is from the book. You know what? That's a nice little, I might save that. Find something to do with that little, we'll see. Anyhow, so that finally, a thunderstorm came in last night and sort of at least got it back under control. It's hot now, but it's normal hot now. And because of the thunderstorm, oh my goodness, is it humid. But I'm not going to complain. I will take normal hot over scary end of the world kind of hot any day. I don't know how southern hemisphere countries, how they're surviving right now. Because that was horrible where we are. Mind you, I looked at the weather report and it was hotter where I was in Canada than it was in Florida yesterday. So, all right, I'm going to use this little tag. I like to turn it over so that I can see. I wonder if it's too wide. You're just a titch too wide. Well, then I'm not going to use you. I'm just going to freehand you if you're going to be that way. Let's do it like this. And now, because we all have front lawns and backyards like hay, we actually probably have about 5 days of rain coming up, hopefully. Sometimes the weatherman isn't so accurate, but that looks nice. Where'd my ruler go? There we go. Now let's see how wide you are. You're 2 and a bit. So 2 and a bit means 1 1/4. So about there. Okay. Let's do you, crocodile. My mom's doing great. FaceTimed with her the other day. And she's so cute. Every time our FaceTime starts, the nurse dials the phone. They have a cell phone just for FaceTime now. And there's a nurse. It's her job all day long. What's her name again? Ollie. And it's just her job all day long to go around to all the rooms and dial phone numbers so that loved ones can talk to their family. I like that color. No way 30 minutes is up. Come on, you can't be serious. Hold on, let me turn that off. Anyhow, every time my mother, when she sets it up and it rings and I answer it and I'm waving away, my big smiley face, waving away, and every single time my little mom thinks that she's looking at a photo of me, and I can hear her saying, "Oh yes, that's my daughter. Yes, that's my daughter." And then the nurse will have to say, that is your daughter. Actually, that's her. Talk to her. She's there. That's her." And I'm yelling at it. Oh, I have the wrong size. I'm saying, "Mom, it's me, Mom." And then she'll go, "Oh my goodness, Catherine." "Yes, it's me." And then we have a lovely talk, and we usually talk about the same things. Have you had a cup of tea this morning? Have you been watching out the window? Oh, it's raining again. Yes. I usually the birds out her window. She's got a bird feeder right outside her window that the lovely staff there keep filled with seeds. Oh, that looks good. And now I may put a label there at some point, but not yet. Anyhow, she was in wonderful spirits, very happy, and she looked really, really good. Alrighty, all right. Well, I ran out of time. It's 30 minutes, so we got a few things done. We did do well. It wasn't exciting, so I'm sorry. But we got a few extra little shorty pages put in. And then I still have to decide what I'm going to do with these ladies. So I'll come up with something, whether I'm going to make them into tags or whether I'm going to fussy cut them and put them in the books. I'm still leaning towards tags. We'll see. Take care, everyone. I hope you're safe, and I hope you're healthy and doing well. And we're going to talk soon. You know me. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll turn on the camera again. Bye.